How far can AI really take your business? No-code tools have allowed non-developers to build custom business apps, and AI has made that even easier. But each platform is different, and each AI model is different. So how do you choose which one to use and why? In this video, I am going to rank the best no-code tools for building custom business apps by testing their AI building features. We are going to build the same exact app across 3 different platforms and see how far each AI can take us, how fast each AI gets us there, and how fun that experience actually is. How intuitive is it? How easy is it for a non-developer to actually get to a working business app? My name is Graham, and I work with Internyl Consulting to help businesses transform their operations with AI and custom software. We have used countless tools to develop actual solutions for our clients. So everything that we're going to cover today is based on real world experience. As usual, I am super glad you're here. Let's get right to it. The 3 no-code platforms that we are exploring today are based on Product Hunt's top reviewed platforms. Those are going to be Airtable, Softer, and NoLoco. I'm going to try to build the same app across every platform and see how it does across the no-code trifecta: databases, automations, and interfaces. If you are new to no-code or you're not familiar with these fundamentals, I made a short video specifically for you. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. Come back here and we'll pick up right where you left off. Okay, so now that I have the attention of my no-code experts, we are ready to start building. The app that I'm building is a simple CRM, a system that tracks leads all the way through the pipeline until they turn into clients. The interface should allow you to click into a record and see related information like the company or the point of contact or related deals. And the one automation that I'm going to try to build with AI is when a deal is moved to closed, a new agreement record is created and the point of contact is notified via email or via Slack. I mentioned it earlier, but the 3 criteria that I am looking at is the distance, how far the AI alone can take us, the speed, how fast it takes to get us to that max distance, then the experience. How intuitive is it for a non-developer, somebody new to the platform, to import or migrate their data, whether it's in spreadsheets or from another platform, into this platform to build what they are looking to build. And to be honest, I went back and forth on this part of the experiment. If I took the same single shot prompt and just tried it across 3 different platforms, then that would be a pretty simple video. But in reality, a business is probably going to come to the table with existing data. Again, that might be from another platform, or maybe they are just living in spreadsheets. So what I decided to do is generate 3 tables of data, and somehow each platform is going to have to intersect with existing data when creating this app. To keep it a fair race, every platform is going to get the same single shot prompt using their initial AI builder. We are about ready, and it's starting to feel like we are test driving sports cars here. Okay, so Airtable. Let's start our stopwatch and see how far we can get and how fast. I'm gonna paste my prompt in. See if I can import spreadsheets. Looks like I can. I'm going to browse files and select more than one. Wonderful. Upload those 4 files and build it. So right now, Airtable is looking at those CSVs. It was creating those tables, and it appears to be creating the interface right now. It asks me how it looks. I think it looks good. I can go over to data and see my companies, my deals. Yeah, and this is my actual data. That's wonderful. And so for automations, I guess it forgot the automation. Let's just copy it from the bottom there. See how far we can go. Right now I'm at about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I'm gonna close Omni and view here. I have the trigger, which is when a record matches conditions. That is the deal record. When that stage is 1, it creates a new record in the agreements table, links the company, the contact, and the deal, and sends a message. This is not configured yet. I have a little notification here to select the channel and the user that it goes to. Before I test, let's go see the interface. Let's publish all of these and just see what it looks like. I have companies, overview, company dashboard. Okay, great dashboard. Let me click into here. Okay, I can see some related information to this company, industry, size, owner, contacts. Great. Okay. Can see some good information. Per contact there, I have a deals section, overview, deals Kanban. We'll use that to test our automation. So let's go ahead and move this Northgate intake app to 1. And I'll go and check Slack. Here at the bottom, you have Maria Lopez. The deal has been won. You can see, just because of the previous testing, different ways that this Slack message can show up, which is great. Based on the ability to import our existing CSVs, create an automation, and configure some interfaces. This is a really strong start, and I'm going to call it at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. First, let us go ahead and start our timer. Going to start that. I'm invited to build my app in a number of ways, but we are going to start every app the same by building with AI. I get to give our app a name, and we are going to use existing data. Lovely. Can select more than one, and NoLoco starts setting up our app. So it took about 3 minutes and 30 seconds for NoLoco to build the app based on my CSV data. So this is what I see. I didn't ask for any of this from AI, but I guess build with AI means intuitively behind the scenes without any sort of prompt, it creates these pages of deals, contacts, companies, and app setup. I'm going to go ahead and hide that just for now, but that's good to know. Part of my requirements was to be able to click into a record and see related information. Whenever I go to the contacts page, I can click into this prospect. His name is Carl. I can see the timeline or status type component here for prospect, lead, client. I can see his contact overview. I think it assumed that we are some sort of HR and recruiting company, and I didn't specify that because I only gave it the CSV files. And in deals, I can see a Kanban, lead, lost, negotiation, proposal, qualified, won. I can drag those over and change the status. Click into those and see some deal information from a one-shot prompt. NoLoco, that's not bad. As for workflows, we obviously didn't have anything to prompt, so there's nothing here, but I can use NOLA to use that prompt. I'll just take something from it. I have the option to select build or ask here. I think that's worth pointing out about NoLoco's AI assistant called NOLA. It really educates you, teaches you how to build along the way, instead of just doing it for you. In this case, I'm going to build and see how far we can get it. So it looks like NOLA is done working. Let's try it out. I'll turn this automation on, move this qualified deal over to 1, and here we are in my email, and I see deal 1, Northgate review automation. Great news. An agreement has been automatically created and linked to the deal. You can review it in the app. If I go over to the app, go over to agreements, looks like I have some interface configuration to do here. Let's ask NOLA. I want to view all of my agreements in a simple list format. Can you please create that for me? I also want to be able to click into the records and see associated linked information. Super simple. Looks like it's gonna nail it. Looks like it's adding more. Start date and end date there at the end. It looks like some of the linked information is missing, but it got us 80% of the way there, and all that we have to do now is go back into the automation and figure out what's wrong and debug from there. All in all, zooming out, I've got the deals table, contacts, companies. Again, some of this AI building assumed that we were probably an HR company. However, it got us to 4 pages. NOLA created a workflow for us, or the scaffolding of one, that got us 80% of the way there. NOLA created a list view of newly created agreements from that workflow. We just need to go and add the right primary contact in the workflow, that is, correctly map it. And then we're off to the races, and I'm sitting at 10 minutes and about 30 seconds. Now for our final candidate, we will be test driving Softer. Let's get our stopwatch out and get to building. So I just pasted our prompt. When I select connect data, I am allowed to select Softer databases, which I don't have any to display right now, or I can select Airtable as an existing database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over into databases, which doesn't have anything, and I'm going to import those CSVs that I have been using for the other apps. I can only select one at a time, it looks like. Hopefully it'll let me add data soon. So I'm going to add another table here, select contacts, import the data. Again, and one more. So that's a pretty simple process of importing those CSV files. Let's go ahead and name this as CRM database, and we'll save it. So then we'll go home. We now have our first software database, and whenever I select home, I'm invited to build an app again. Let me paste that prompt in there, connect the right data source here. Here's our CRM database, and proceed to build. Looks like we are being set up for success here. We are looking at 4 minutes and 30 seconds roughly. For contacts, status, should I add the missing option partner to the existing status field? Sure. Looks like my test data had a missing status option. So for the deals pipeline view, do you want it as a Kanban style board, group by stage? Yes. When a deal moves to 1, how should the deal owner be notified? Email. Users will log in using email. I will invite my own users. And then I can select a theme. Let's keep it different from the other colors. Before I explore it, we are at almost 9 minutes from our initial, not only prompt, but creating the database in software. So here is that data, contacts, deals, companies. I'm going to go over to the interface, and looks like I land on the mobile view. You can view it on tablet and desktop. Here is the internal CRM. I have some blocks that are welcoming me. I have open deals, just some good cards to understand things at a high level. This is my home page, just a view of the pipeline. Let's look at the deals page. Similar Kanban and similar cards. I can look at all deals. This is pretty nice. Can I click into those? I can do that. Great. Companies, click into those, open up the side panel. Can I click into contacts? Okay, so I can click through records big time. It's showing the right information. So this is a really clean interface right off the bat. Really great. Really great. We've been through the data interface. Now let's look at the workflows. I don't have anything created here, although that was included in my prompt. Let us see if we can create an automation as well as we can with NoLoco. So again, I just took this from the prompt. I'll probably start a new chat and then paste that information here and see if it can create an automation from that prompt. It tells me that if I create a new workflow, it can edit it, but it won't be able to create it automatically. So that is where the buck stops for Software's AI. I would love to create it and I would love to see how it can edit it, but that is the furthest that it can go. Great for getting off the line. Really impressive interface. Love how I can open up records and click through different details, especially how friendly it is on a tablet or a mobile view. You can just click through and even view that. Wow, okay. So wonderful, so clean, really crispy. Very impressed. That is Software. And to wrap it up, looks like our stopwatch is, we'll say 15 minutes because I went back to gush a little bit more. So 15 minutes of creating a database, prompting with AI, letting the AI build after we answered some questions. So let's recap. Airtable took us really far, really fast. Airtable received our CSV files and built a database based on our existing company data. Again, that could be spreadsheets, that could be from another platform coming over to Airtable. Within about 5 minutes, Airtable created those databases, created multiple pages with lots of dashboards, and allowed me to click into records, see the right data, and even created that workflow that worked and sent a message to Slack. That is pretty impressive, and it was all in about 5 minutes. NoLoco, on the other hand, didn't even ask for an AI prompt. It just took my data and created really decent pages based on what it thought the data was related to. Now, some of that was wrong. There were assumptions made that my company was an HR company instead of a custom software company, and that reflected in some of the commentary around the interface, but that's something that I'm not really too worried about because I can come back and fix that myself manually. At the same time, Airtable didn't really even take that risk. NoLoco just took the risk and was wrong. Since NoLoco did not ask for a prompt up front, I had to manually prompt NOLA to build a workflow, but after I did, NOLA nailed it. It built out all of the steps, mapped all of the fields. Some of those were not showing the way that I wanted them to, but the scaffolding existed. And so I just had to go back and fine tune those specific data points. Now that is really far and really impressive just using AI. When we began building our app with Software, we were invited to prompt. We were also invited to link an existing data source, but that data source had to be either through Airtable or Software databases. Uploading my CSV files to Software databases was really easy, but it did add a little bit to the time. And after going through those questions with the AI co-builder and the AI taking a longer time to process than any of the other platforms, I finally had my app. But it was completely worth it. By far, Software's one-shot prompt got me the furthest as far as interface goes. I was able to click through to different records, view things in a really sleek environment. I was able to view on desktop, tablet, and mobile, all right there in one place. Hop over to the Data tab, and I can see my Software database that I created with my original CSV data, but there was nothing to be found in the Workflow tab. That's because Software's AI co-builder failed to even create the workflow when I asked for it. When I asked for it a second time directly and then a third time, can you build this simple workflow for me? It was not able to. And so that's where the road stopped for Software. Based on a lot of experience outside of this video, preparing for this video, working on real solutions for real clients, here is my personal opinion. Airtable's Omni is the best co-pilot. Once you have your database robustly configured, I'm talking linked fields, roll-ups, lookups, the things that really reflect the complexity of a business's operations, Airtable's Omni can test rapidly, can create new fields, create AI fields even that have specific prompts. Instead of clicking to create a new field and then selecting the type of field and then going back to my keyboard and manually typing in the name of that field, I can create 10 fields at once using one single prompt to Omni. That's really powerful. I don't use Airtable's Omni for interface design as much, and the ability to create workflows is actually pretty recent, so I haven't experimented with that outside of this video. But being able to use Omni within the data product, Airtable's bread and butter, is really, really good. NoLoco's NOLA is actually the newest AI assistant to the scene, but I was really impressed. It made some assumptions, some right, some wrong, but the ones that it did make were the ones that mattered. How things were configured, the interface, the components, that was really well done. And then the ability to create workflows, automatically map those fields, that saves me so much time from going in and out of fields, mapping, clicking through different records. That is one of NoLoco's strengths as a no-code builder, being able to click through different fields and go deeper and deeper into the database, but it also takes time. So having NOLA do that for me was really great. I don't think you'll be surprised by this, but Software's ability to go from zero to a beautiful app was extremely impressive. It seems to blend the best of robust user permissions and a really clean interface. It's almost like NoLoco and Glide got together and had a baby. Software even released an AI feature that allows you to build a custom coded block. The fundamentals of no code are that you're using pre-existing blocks, but with Software you're able to, in real time, create a new block, and that is revolutionary. But there seems to be a gap between what the AI assistant can do on the front end and what the AI assistant can do on the back end. Each platform went a different distance at a different speed. Relative to each other, here's how they line up. My final recommendation, based on my experience and my experiment, is first Airtable. It got me from my data to my database to interfaces and an automation in 5 minutes. Speed is ultimately what won that race. The second is NoLoco, an underdog because NOLA is so new to the game, but really impressive because it nailed that workflow and Software couldn't quite get there. It made some assumptions on the interface, but those assumptions were pretty close, and I can go back and manually change just text. That's not really a big problem for me. And intuitively, as I've been working with NOLA, I feel like I'm in the driver's seat. I'm even offered the ability to go from build mode to ask mode and learn the platform. I really appreciate feeling like I'm in the driver's seat as the builder, and I appreciate understanding what I'm building. And I think that's really important for any business owner or builder. In third place, Softer. And it's not last place, because Softer, NoLoco, Airtable, they are all miles ahead of the competition, and they're all neck and neck. They are leading the charge, each in different ways that we didn't look at today, in the next generation of custom software development. So while each no-code platform is extremely different, and the respective AI co-builder makes things even more different, the most important thing to keep in mind is the unique needs of your business before you even decide to pick a platform to build. Scoping out thoroughly, whether it be scoping out your prompt before you prompt an AI no-code builder, or scoping out the system and process that you're looking to solve with an AI no-code builder, remains the most important first step that anybody can take. This video was made to help you along your journey, and if you need help with that first step, scoping out the unique needs of your business, we offer that for free as well. That's what we call our scoping sprint. It is a 5-day build plan given to you for free that allows you to take the next right step. We tell you exactly how we would do it based on our experience, but at the end of the day, you're the one in the driver's seat, and we are coming alongside of you to help you transform your operations. If you're interested in really diving deep into one of these platforms in particular, we just made a video on NoLoco as a client portal operating system. It's robust. It goes through user permissions and user roles and filters and how those differ as far as data security goes. That is a foundation worth knowing whenever you're building with no code, so that you don't sacrifice something like your security or your pocketbook whenever you're trying to build something for your team. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let us know. There are many ways to be in touch. Don't be a stranger.